something strange is happening. The economy is still running hot, but the headline inflation number everyone watches, CPI, keeps looking tame. Here's the problem. CPI is always late. By the time it tells you something, the real inflation story has already moved on. If you want an early signal, you have to look upstream, and the August 14th data just flashed one. Inflation is not random. It moves in a sequence. First, producer prices for goods, the factories, the commodities, the freight costs. Then producer services, wages, contracts, rents. Next, it flows into PCE, the Fed's favorite gauge, because it catches provider prices in healthcare, finance, and trade margins. Finally, months later, it shows up in CPI, the out-of-pocket prices you and I pay. Think of it as a transmission pipeline. Goods lead, services lag. PCE picks it up in the middle. CPI arrives last. Through the first half of 2025, producer prices had been quietly grinding higher. Markets mostly ignored it. Then came August 14th. Producer prices up 0.9% in a single month. Producer services up 1.1%. Trade margins, the hidden profits inside wholesale and retail, jumped 2.0%. That's not just cost pressure. That's businesses finding pricing power before it ever hits the checkout counter. And it immediately trimmed the odds of a larger Fed cut in September. Here's the subtle but critical part. When trade services rise, it's not the sticker price yet, it's margins. Expanding margins mean companies are keeping more. Compressing margins mean they're discounting or eating cost. Margins are where inflation turns before consumers feel it. It's the earliest smoke in the pipeline. How long does this take? History says producer goods to headline CPI takes about 3 to 6 months. Services-heavy measures like core inflation take 6 to 12 months. It isn't mechanical, but it's reliable enough to map. Look back at 2022. Producer prices cracked in July. CPI didn't peak until months later. Same sequence, same lag. So where are we now? Goods pressure, firm. Services, just accelerated. Margins, expanding. If that persists, PCE will be the first place it shows. CPI will only catch up months later, unless competition forces businesses to discount and those margins roll over. The key indicators from here. Producer goods prices are inputs cooling or building. Retail and wholesale margins, expanding or compressing. Healthcare and finance inside PPI. Those flow directly into PCE. Wages and shelter. If they stay hot, core disinflation gets delayed. Here's why this matters. If producer services and margins stay firm, PCE heats up first, and the Fed slows down its path to cuts. If margins roll over, goods cool, and shelter eases, disinflation looks cleaner, and policy can soften sooner. Either way, CPI will always be the last to know. Markets and policy won't wait for it. Neither should you. The bottom line, CPI is too late. Follow the pipeline. Producer goods, producer services, PCE, then CPI, and you'll see the turn early. If this framework helps you cut through the noise, subscribe to Global Notes by JP to stay in tune.